So they'll be calling you a radical. This is an important video, really important video, because the salmon number is really starting to come in earnest right now. So Tim Martin and I are really working the Deschutes, the Rogue heavily. We're on them every day. So the Rogue right now, the spring run is getting right towards the end. It's already peaked. It peaks May 1st. So the spring run, the Rogue has just barely over 1,000 in the hatchery. 1,000 spring Chinook. Now, what did they have before Fukushima happened? Well over 100,000. In fact, I think 160,000. I think the hatchery had 160,000. They have 1,000. So we go from 160,000 to Deschutes just as bad. Jedediah Smith's even worse. The Fraser's the worst of them all. So nothing's still on the Kenine, but it's early. Copper, I mean, fishing just started open. Nothing there yet. It's early. But this is important because the Columbia numbers, which I don't trust their numbers at all, but it's the big giant beast, the biggest drainage in the whole, Pacific Ocean. Well, the North American drainage into the Pacific Ocean. It's gigantic. So I think people, when they look at these numbers, especially on the Chinook, record numbers. Now remember, this is numbers they go to sea for 5 years. So record numbers 28, 9, 10, 11, 12, 30. I mean, now when we're looking at 1.4 million came across in 2015. Almost 1.5 million, just under 1.5 million. Remember, we can double that number. Now, why can we double that number? Because that's how it works. And the takeout in front, which is the netting, the commercial fishing, the native fishery, the retail fishing, the recreation guy, the commercial guys, they're allowed to take out 50%. And I verified this through ODFW, all my work over the years. Those years they took out well over 1.5 million fish. They keep track. So the number really was, they took out closer to 2 million, but we'll stay with 1.5 million. ODFW, so we're talking 3.6 million, which really is closer to 4 million. 4 million. So that dropped all the way to 300,000 just in a couple years. I mean, just off a cliff. But remember, that's by volume. That's by number. That's not by volume. So by volume, this should be interesting tonight. By volume, it's pathetic. My buddy up there has caught 2 this year. 4 pounds and 1.5. They should be 30, 40 pounders. I mean, it's pitiful. Now, the Kenine last year's entire spring run had 1,975 for the fucking year. They should be getting that a day. So, as I watch these numbers, it's just like, well, it's in symphony with the well collapse. It's in symphony with the tide pool collapse. I mean, all of it, 29, this acute radical, the Great Pacific Genocide, as I named it. These numbers are a catastrophe. I mean, an absolute catastrophe. So I'm watching this number because over the last 2 or 3 years, it's stabilized. I mean, it just crashed radically down 90%. Like, again, almost 4 million on the Columbia, clear down to 300,000. Over 90% collapse. And that's the good news. The Deschutes, the Rogue, the Jedediah Smith, and the Klamath are right next to each other. As I say over and over and over, Klamath has damage, Jedediah Smith does not. In symphony with each other. They're dying at sea. So, it's unarguable they're dying at sea. I mean, everybody argued it for all those years. Now they're finally, catching up to Kevin Blanch's historic work. Took them long enough, huh? I do all the work in real time, And they're coming out 11, 12 years later and verifying, well, just like I said in those days. They're going to come out and tell you exactly after the nuclear frogs have been boiled nicely. Right on promontory there. Not much of a flash tonight like it was. So, let's get back to these numbers. This is important, historic video. So, I'm looking, the spring run is all but over. You know, we got a few days left on the Columbia. The numbers are pitiful. I mean, pitiful. We're talking 78,000. I mean, it's already peaked. This is with absolutely no fishing in front, no commercial fishing, no fucking gill netting, no nothing. I mean, it's fucking border. I mean, we're getting extinction level type stuff. Like I said, we checked on the fucking road today. It's barely over 1,000. What the fuck? It should be, I mean, it should be 100,000. At least. Well, it really should be 160,000. 1,000? Oh my fucking. And again, they're not like this. They're like a rainbow trout. They're sick, they're starving. This is an acute radical catastrophe. I mean, if you're not concerned, you know, it's the whole jet stream moves left to right. So we know, because the Stillhead just went off a cliff in 2012, as Kevin. Remember, record returns. Remember the fuckheads, the Army Corps engineers who classified me. Insider in there leaked it all to me. I put it online where they classified me. You know, remember the Army Corps engineers grandstanding doing videos all over saying, "Yeah, look at this." And on the live cam, you know, you ever been down at the bottom hill and watched the ladder? And there's a live cam, you can watch it online, right? They took it down in 2016. Well, I kept calling and saying, "You need me to send you a fucking." I found a GoPro on eBay for $40. You need me to send it to you? Do you know it's still fucking down? I mean, it's kind of like when they crashed RadNet on March 11th, 2011. What's RadNet? The radiation detector and all that. They just took it offline. You think this is a fucking coincidence? In science, we don't do coincidence. So the salmon number, they're fucking pitiful. Now, I got my eyes heavily on all the said rivers in Alaska, the New Shack, you know, all these great, incredible, historic. There's no dams on these rivers. The Kenai, the Beast. We'll see how this goes this year. Last year was horrific, and everyone said, "Oh, we got chubs." Oh, fuck. I guess you do have some decent fucking numbers on chubs. They're algae feeders. What, the fucking Chinook are gone away? What about the crab collapse? What about the fucking whale collapse? What? Now, all my work's being verified over and over. Every fucking day there's another study coming out. Yes, there's acute catastrophe to start. Remember the wells? They argue. Everybody argued with me for all those fucking years, and I'm boots on the ground doing the well. Remember when I painted Fukushima killed me on the fucking well? You know, in its own blood, just smeared it? Wrote it on the beach? Fuck. Everybody fighting with me, going, the radiation can't kill a fucking 60,000 pound humpback whale. I never said it did. You broke the fucking chain. You promised you would never break the chain. They fucking starved to death. I'm the first guy that was screaming and yelled. They starved to death. The plume. Now, the 75 biologists are coming up on the humpback study and say, yes, we've finally figured it out. It was a starvation event, just like Blanche said. And it started in 2012. It's acute. I like NOAA calling it unusual mortality in itself. Fuck, NOAA are derelicts. They should be in fucking prison cells. They're worse than the Army Corps engineers. So I'm the person that is responsible for Oregon, keeps their own numbers because they don't trust the Army Corps engineers. That's my work. I mean, so much of this work is my work, and I'm grassroots. I don't work for NOAA. I don't make a living off other people's taxes. I rely on fucking grassroots funding, you know. And the slander everybody did to me, paid by the Department of Energy, really good job. But what did that get you? I'll feel good about that. You think there were literally dozens of YouTube sites, dozens of Facebook. You can still Google around. There's still some out there. And 100% committed to nothing but slander Kevin Blanche. Now, really? They're that fucking bored? You think a bunch of people, that's all they wanted to do is just sit around and slander Kevin Blanche and take a chance of going to fucking prison, which are felonies in all 50 states. I was full of AML leukemia. I mean, they're going after me when I'm in the fucking hospital with my chest split open, my heart out. Twice. And then these people roll in and say, "Oh, where were your friend? Yeah. Still my radio show. Wait till I'm in Europe. Free radicals versus post-ignorance." Oh, you do know what a free radical is. I was on to them right off the gate. I knew what the fuck they were doing. But how do you fight them off? You know? How do you fight these fucking monsters? I mean, you know, I try. So these numbers are a fucking catastrophe. So the $75 finally agreed, saying yes, it was a starvation event started in 2012. What caused the starvation event? The blob. I'm the first guy that named it the blob. I'm the first guy that started talking about it. Because what? When all the healthy species leaves, plankton, I says these fucking meltdowns are going to be pushed in the Pacific Ocean. I love this red herring you're all falling for. First round, second round, ding, 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 let's get ready to rumble. Sixth round of dumping. Well, they've been dumping for 4,819 days now. If you believe that, then how did the season 137, 180 fucking times the safe legal limits get into the fish in May of 2023, 2 months before they started flushing? Or the year before, 1,400 times, or the year 1,000 times the mackerel fucking levels in 20, I mean, hello. So, the blob. Okay, what caused the blob? Acidification of the fucking thing. What caused that in acute fashion? Climate change. There's a giant cop-out. Climate change very real. It's been going on for a long time, and you don't think nuclear energy is climate change? Now I want you to think about this. Do you know how much water every one of these nuclear reactors boils a fucking minute? These reactors are all next to oceans and next to rivers. That's all they are. They're water boilers. They boil fucking gigantic. You don't think boil? I want you to get some seawater, some out of your river, your lake, your stream, and look at. We call it the cloud as marine biologists. In the ocean, we call it the cloud. I call it the cloud. You know, the soup. Look how that's all the plankton in there, all the staff of life. I want you to take a pan of it, put it on your fucking stove and boil it. See what's left. The cloud's gone, isn't it? Cooks it, kills it. What do the nuclear energy reactors do? You think that, up is down, black is white, wrong is right. This fucking country's insane. Boiling all the Earth's water will cool the fucking Earth? No, it's fucking heat it. So you're telling me that, I talked to a couple of these biologists yesterday via email. So you're blaming it on climate change, the acute collapse in 2012, which we know is an outlier. Do you agree with me it's an outlier? Yeah, it's an outlier. So you're telling me that climate change didn't start till 2011? I said, well, there's only two conclusions then, if that's true. Climate change just magically presto, munja, bingo, bongo, started in 2011 because this collapse is like this. Or maybe Fukushima was so radical and so fucking hot that it just made climate change go. Nuclear meltdowns are hot. And I'll tell you how hot. There's stuff all over the internet that Korea, and there's another super collider now, bringing star power to Earth, have got a fission event, which is basically the same thing that goes on in the sun. And what's going on in a nuclear reactor, Western Zirconium's right there. You know, the odds. That madness that's inside that reactor, basically contains sun. How fucking hot it is in all these reactors. Oh, it's fucking hot. They're saying they've come up with over 100 million degrees sustained for 48 seconds. Now, this is the second one. What do you think these cores are? So you telling me, and these cores just keep melting. There's no elephants, but we've got video proof over and over and over, and especially in Unit 1 now. It's just a big gaping fucking hole. It's just proof the China cinder was real, which I named Delmar Argentina. So this heat source, this radical fucking crazy heat source was pushed into the Pacific Ocean. That's what they've been doing the whole time. They're pushing into the fucking Pacific Ocean the whole time. You tell me there's no byproduct for that? Never happened to Chernobyl, never happened to Mayak, never happened to 3 Mile Island, never fucking happened to Santa Susana. Never happened to Idaho National Lab. Never happened to 8/8 on the White Sea, 2019. These are full, blown out fucking core meltdowns. At least 3. I think it's probably more than that. We'll go with their 3. They don't even know where they're at. You know, fuck this fission event gets hotter and hotter and hotter, bringing star power to Earth a little more, pushing in the ocean. Look at the plume, the heat dome. I predicted all this. It's going to push into the ocean. It's going to cause a fucking heat dome over the western United States. It's going to get into the fucking trees. It's going to get into the pine needles. It's going to cause fires. Just the greatest fire event in fucking American history. I mean, I remember talking to a biologist up north when I was up north in California, and he says, you were right. I used to watch your videos, and he says, this is a fire guy. He says, these fires, at first, we thought it was arsonists working together. And he says, no, you were right, you know, that when fires start all at the same time, because they're not mutually exclusive. Literally hundreds of miles away from each other, over thousands and thousands, if not millions of square miles. All sorry, tornado. I mean, the fire event was unforeseen in the history of fucking North America, maybe ever. How's that possible? This is just like I said. It's a plasma. It's a gas. Plutonium. It got into the needles of the tree. Got it. Fuck. When the atmosphere is actually catching fucking fire, it's impossible that these fires can all start simultaneously. Well, when the conditions are exactly right, which I named plutonium, predicted all that. Again, there's the outline. When was that? This all madness all started in 2011. You can take the well data. You can take the starfish fucking data. Oh, just wasting disease. So I've been talking to them. Okay, wasting disease. Fukushima had nothing to do with it. Oh, okay, it didn't? You sure about that? Well, then what did cause wasting disease? Because we know it was acute. The tide pools, everybody used to laugh at me when I was doing all my tide pool work. I'm like, they're collapsing fucking intuitive. I knew it. Just down 97%, 99%. Fuck, I'm going to Point Loma. Fuck, I've been out there. I got my permanent card now. I have a permanent fucking national card, so I get in there all the time now. Rachel bought for me, you know, who was in Japan at the time. You go out there and there's hundreds of people paying $25 a person to get in there over and over, and the tide pools are completely wiped out. They're completely fucking dead. And my tide pool fucking worked organically in a big wide spout at low. You know how hard that was to do? I'm still doing it all these fucking years with a battered valve, sleeping in a fucking sleep bag on the beach, full of AML leukemia. Fuck. And I live in Utah. Fucking, I've caught some of the lowest fucking tides and the most historic fucking tide pools in all of California in history, and I have them. You know how hard that is to glide across those fucking rocks? I fell, I cracked my head, I cracked a bone in my hand, fucking, I mean, I remember the guard shack, one of the lifeguards who knows me down there, who was watching me out at PB Point, Cemetery Point, which I named it, and he's like, God bless you, I watched you out there for a couple hours from the shack. He says, I never seen anything. What a fucking athlete you are. I says, yeah. Fucking a lot of years of practice. He says, you go across those fucking rocks and you move across there so beautifully and gracefully. He says, you're almost like a fucking shorebird. Fucking, yeah, it ain't easy because they're slicker. And ask anybody who's gone with me. They're like, well, they try it. It's something else. It takes incredible fucking skill and strength to go across. And I've done it. And the videos are all right there. You can't, I mean, up and down the entire coast. Acute radical collapse. So I'm talking to them. So, okay, what caused wasting disease? I'm waiting. I'm still fucking waiting. I'm still waiting for this acute. You're going to blame that on fucking climate change too? Now, we know climate change is very real, but you're telling me that climate change started in 2011, 2012? No, it didn't. We know fucking factually. Look it up, the fucking data on climate change has been going on for decades. You know, since nuclear, the fuck I'll be dropped. These fucking salmon numbers are the smoking gun of Fukushima. I'm telling you, we don't catch dead tide pools. Okay, Kevin Lash does. We don't catch dead humans in bone marrow plant center. Remember, it's going to give you cancer. Now remember, I got leukemia right here in 2011. Now the mapping is showing that the Fukushima, which is 6,500 miles right there, as the Canadian goose flies, fucking, we know I hammered the mighty wild. I was working right up there in Shadow Valley when I got fucking sick. We know I hammered. We know there was an acute radical collapse. And again, they're blaming all the baby boomers coming of age in 2011, 2012. Now the studies are out. Leukemia is the hallmark of fucking nuclear fallout. It is the hallmark. My dad, nuclear veteran, it's now we're seeing the AML leukemia, the acute myeloid leukemia, which, by the way, it's not chronic leukemia. Acute leukemia, the life expectancy is very fucking low. It's a brutal, wicked disease, and the treatment is fucking radical as fuck. I mean, I had no pigments in my eyes. I got down to 119 pounds. Blisters on my fucking tongue, going in and out of a coma. I weighed 165, 170. I weighed 119. I could hardly walk. No pigment in my fucking eyes. Again, blisters on my tongue. It's so hard. I took out my aortic valve. I've had open heart surgery twice. I lost all my fucking teeth one by one. Kicked off Medicaid. My gallbladder fucking ruptured. I mean, it's a long, ugly, fucking brutal fucking fight. And anybody that's been through it will tell you just what I just told you. You know, what few survive. We counted the salmon. And again, I can't overstate this because the stillhead salmon, where they're called half pounders when they come back the first year. Second year is, you know, they come back twice and then their life cycle's over. The stillhead began to collapse on cue in 2011-2012. And everybody's arguing, well, I've been out there on the ocean, fishermen. Everybody's calling me last call. Blanche, you're full of shit. Record, I've been on the boats. We just got incredible numbers 2012, 2013. And, right? I know that. Just giant. Look it up. Just incredible record return. I said, Chinook salmon go to sea for an average of 5 years. Will you believe me when they collapsed in 2016? That ain't going to happen. Oh, did it happen? In science, we call that outlier. Anybody that says coincidence, anybody that uses the word coincidence in science is a fucking fool. Now, I'm not saying coincidence can't happen on one individual thing, but not in this much fucking data. We know unarguably because we have the fucking salmon data, in symphony because the 2011-2012 stillhead, the Chinook in 26, the well collapse, starvation event, 2011-2012, the tide pool, fucking the starfish, which they call wasting disease, radical acute collapse, 2011-2012. The cancer outbreak, 2011-12. The heat dome over the western United States, including the drought right here, the Great Salt Lake's right there. That epic acute fucking collapse. It was a perfect fucking normal level, 2011. My spiral jetty videos prove it. Heat bubble shifted, 2011-2012. I mean, all this fucking historic fucking data. The Mures, the seabirds collapsed, 2011-2012. The seals, and by the way, I want to say this to everybody in California, you're rehabbing, saving seals and sea lions. Do you know they're killing them in droves in the Columbia River right now? That's their excuse. Congress in 2018, the Teabagger Congress, their last act, just save the salmon was shoot all the fucking sea lions. Sea lions been eating fucking salmon for millions of years. And that's your answer? So you rehab them in California, they swim up to the mouth of the Columbia, which they've been doing for millions of years, and they fucking shoot them and kill them. How is there no environmentalist group up there videoing? Where are they? Where are they? I don't know, man. So this numbers, I was looking at the numbers on the Columbia, and the fucking spring runs pretty well over. Fuck. It's an absolute. Their low projections were 360,000 on their low on the spring. Fuck, we're sitting at 78,000. We'll be lucky if we get 100,000. For real. And this is with absolutely zero fucking fishing in front. No gill netting, no commercial takeout, no tribal takeout, no nothing. It's a fucking catastrophe. I mean, it's acute. We'll see in Alaska, but if there ain't anything close to the last few years, fuck, it's way past. Pacific Ocean dies, stock market makes all. The whole world should be screaming. And their answer was to come after me, kettle me. I mean, just the fact I got cancer in 2011, going to a bone marrow transplant at 11:11. I remember my doctor says, you got a stack of fucking media crests in here this deep. But they wouldn't let anybody in. It's quarantine. I remember he says, they've all backed out. I says, he had his theories why they all backed out. And I says, well, the government classified me. That's why. He says, I think it's because you didn't die. He says, I really think they thought, I mean, what a compelling story. You know, everybody says you're going to be the next modern day Rachel Carson. You know, Rachel Carson was going after Dow Chemicals saying they were causing fucking cancer, and she got it, and it killed her. I says, I'm not martyring myself for no one. You know, I got fucking work to do. So we'll keep our eye on these salmon numbers. So, fucking dropped your fucking dry gas container. Doing the hell thing over here. What a freak show. It's almost like living in the Twilight Zone. It's the greatest ecological catastrophe in human history. So I'll be in California soon, again, tide pooling, getting after it, you know. And I know it's hard to hang with me, but, you know, we got to keep on this, man. We can't give up on. Everybody says, oh, it's been such a long time. 13 years is not that fucking long of a time. It's not. And so I've been at this for over 60 for real. And we got to get these guys, you know. I need to get down there and get my signs and stand right in front of the reactor. Lessons from Fukushima unlearned. TikTok, Diablo Canyon clock. Building of nuclear reactors on the rim. I mean, think about the psychos and the lunatics post-Fukushima. We have this major catastrophe. A nuclear reactor on the Ring of Fire. And sending off for shutdown, that's a major accomplishment. Kevin Blanch and friends. Without Kevin Blanch's cancer, without my work, never shuts down. And it's in dry casts. I mean, that job's all but fucking done. Diablo was going to shut down, supposed to be shut down already. And they reopen it, something that California does not use. California producing more solar than they can fucking use, but states like Utah blocking it in the grid. We have a grid. $4.4 million a day California ratepayers are paying to keep that piece of shit open. Not to mention the billions of dollars of federal subsidy. Not to mention all the energy it sucks up out of the grid to keep their spent fuel pools fucking open. And it's on the ring of fire. Now, we haven't had a major quake on this side of the Pacific Rim. Now, we've had two gigantic monsters this century so far. We had the one on New Year's Eve in 2005 that just, fuck, that was like the earthquake of a millennium, huh? Until 6 years later, we got another one. Fukushima's so radical, so big that it shook it rocked the Earth's fucking off its axis. It moved the axis of the Earth. I mean, and we know, and they just went into full blown out fucking cover up as their fucking answer. I mean, it just blows my mind that everybody's gone along with it. What a thumbprint on fucking scientists are mystified, they're baffled, they're perplexed. That's not science. What Kevin Blanch has done is science. What I just explained is science. We call those outliers. So 2011 is the greatest outlier in human history. You can't, I mean, you could argue with me before on all of this said subject matter. Blanch is crazy, blah, blah. You can't argue with me anymore. All the data's there. Everything I did and all my work, everything that I fucking hypothesized, everything said has absolutely come true. Only thing you can argue with me now, what was the outlier? Now, we know factually it is absolutely unarguable because we have all the data. We can fucking run. We can run regression off computer models. It's absolutely unarguable that the greatest outlier, maybe in history, in world history. I think it's bigger than Krakatoa 418 when that was formed, and it was so big and the explosion was so big that it coated a black cloud around the Earth for years and years and blocked the sun out for years. I think this is bigger. So that's an outlier. When Krakatoa went off, that's fucking a radical, crazy outlier. It's an event. So we know that this radical, crazy event, 2011 in the Pacific Ocean, the North American fucking. So we have to start looking for the culprit, right? What happened? I'm still waiting for all you scientists. Still waiting. What caused your fucking wasting disease? Global warming? Global warming started in 2011, 12? What caused the major radical starvation event where these fucking off the cliffs, which we know that these fucking whales lost 30, 40, 50, 60% at least. And by the way, they're still losing. Noah's full of shit. And I'll tell you how I know they're still fucking, because the orcas have moved out because there's no Chinook salmon are eating all the gray pups. And are you going to see that? No. How are they going to wash up dead? Orcas eat them. Noah's a fucking bunch of criminal liars that should be in jail, just like the Army Corps Engineers. So we know this great outlier was 2011. It's unarguable. It's fucking absolutely unarguable. It's absolutely unarguable. So what was it? I'm waiting. I'm waiting. I'm waiting. What was it? What was it? Did a meteor hit Earth? Did a meteor strike? Did another major earthquake form like Krakatoa that just blew and fuck? No, we would know that, right? Of course we would know that. Oh, first time in human history, this genie got out of the bottle. 3 focal meltdowns. 8 spent. And they're still telling you, though, 1 at Chernobyl is more than fucking 3 at Fukushima, and they're more than 3. And remember, Chernobyl had no spent fuel pools. It was a brand new reactor. And 780,000 men entombed it, including a mining operation. You think they just mined under because they wanted to block it from China syndrome, which I call Del Mar Edge. What did they do it here? I thought for sure there was a secret operation going down underneath in the world of sand. But Barry Antoinette Obama, he backed him out. Axelrod fucking and Rahm Emanuel and crew, John Holder, make it so. And then Trump doubles down. So does Biden. I mean, it's unfucking real. Everybody's gone along with this. So I'm waiting. What caused wasting disease in 2011? Global warming just started in 2011? I don't think so. That's a cop-out. The starvation event started in 2011. That was also global warming. That just started in 2011? No, that would be gradual if that happened. We'd have a gradual starvation event. We wouldn't have an acute radical. These are outliers. 3 full-blown meltdowns, 8 spent fuel pools blown to fucking, including MOX fuel, which is against liar. I mean, the jet stream moves left to right. So does the ocean. Throw your rubber ducky in at Fukushima, Japan, and it will be a gold beach where I'm just talking about the Rogue. It'll land right there at Rogue where there's 1,000 feet. I mean, the Japanese current runs into California in a direct fucking hit, right from Fukushima Channel, right to Gold Beach, Oregon. And then it splits and it runs up into Bristol Bay and it goes all the way down. Remember when we were picking up season 137 in the tuna in this fucking summer of 2011 in San Diego? I mean, those ocean currents are rapid. They're fast. They push it in the ocean. It's a heat source. It's a fucking hell of a way to boil a planet. Nuclear energy, Kevin Blanche, March 2011. Everything I hypothesized, everything I said, it's been a long journey. I mean, it's been a hard journey. Who knew that they would go after me like they fucking went after me like a fucking wolf? I mean, I knew they would go after me. They've been going after me my whole life. I mean, what they've done to me. But for the American populace to turn their back on me, to hire teams of trolls that pretend to be my friends while I'm fucking fighting, while I'm in critical condition. What a story. I can't believe no documentary filmmakers, nobody stepped up. And I mean, we could have changed the fucking world, but well, that's how well the slander machine worked against me. I mean, it's unfucking believable. So, pop, OAPI dropped. They never stopped. So, the nuclear energy crime syndicate, if this has an exposure, they control the fucking world. Oh boy. If they got their thing, they've taken over academia, they've taken over media, they've taken everything. It's the same fucking creepy ass fucking cult. They got control of everything. Fucking except Mother Earth. She's gonna fight back. When's the earthquake gonna happen at Diablo? TikTok. Oh boy, I'm fucking nervous about it. I'm really nervous about it. I mean, can you? Well, of course, they'll just tell you to hunker down. So we'll stay on these salmon numbers every fucking day. The Oregon numbers are fucking beyond horrible. They're a catastrophe. Again, the spring run is almost over. The Rogue has just over 1,000. They should have over 100,000. The Columbia has 78,000. And it's almost over. Their low, radically fucking letter was 300,000. I mean, it's a catastrophe, and they're sick, they're skinny, and people want to still go fishing. We'll swatch on all the Alaska rivers. It's that time of year. It's just starting right now. There's one. And all the said tracked Chinook rivers and all of them. There's one. I don't know if it's a buck in our hand. So far on one of the rivers. We'll stay on it. Stay in tune.